I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to provide you with some information about Carer Gateway. I'm a partnership specialist with Carer Gateway, so my role is to promote Carer Gateway, do information sessions for families or to service providers. Hence why I'm here today. I'm just going to share my presentation, so bear with me for a moment while I do that. And please let me know if you can't see it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it up. It won't be a moment. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see that there now. Is that right? Please let me know if the slides also don't move through. I don't want you to get stuck on the first slide. So let's proceed. I will pass on the acknowledgement of country, given that Oliver's done that already. Thank you, Oliver. So with Carer Gateway has been around for about 4.5 years now, and it's a national program to provide support for carers. Different organisations run it in different parts of the country. I'm with Benevolent Society, and we have the contract to run Carer Gateways through most of metropolitan Sydney. We also cover the Illawarra on behalf of another organisation. So different organisations run it throughout the country, but the services that I talk about today are consistent services that all Carer Gateway service providers are expected to provide. I'd like to start initially by looking at who is a carer, and that might seem strange, but we find that a lot of people who are carers may not identify as a carer. They might just see their role as that of the relationship that they're in. You know, maybe they're seeing themselves as the husband or wife or mother or father or child of the person that they're providing care for. And that role is an important role, but it's also important to know that, you know, anybody who's providing care and support for a loved one who has a disability or a mental health illness or a life-limiting or medical condition or drug or alcohol-related condition or somebody who's frail is considered a carer and eligible for Carer Gateway support in their own right. As it says here, the carer can be any age and the person they care for can be any age. The program is not only open to citizens and residents, but also to visa holders and refugees. It's quite separate from the NDIS and My Aged Care because those services are for the person who has care needs, whereas Carer Gateway is specifically for the carer to give them support to ensure that they're able to manage that caring role throughout that whole caring journey and looking after themselves as well. There's no means testing or income testing as part of the program. You don't have to be living with the person that you're caring for. They can be living with you, but they could be living on their own elsewhere, or they could be in supported living, or for older people, obviously, in an aged care facility. So it doesn't matter where the person is that you're supporting, where they live, you would still be eligible for Carer Gateway. And you don't need to be on a carer payment or carer allowance to be eligible. Really, the only eligibility is that you're providing care and support on a regular basis. And what that care and support looks like is different for every carer. Some carers are providing support 24/7. Others may be providing support, you know, a couple of times a week or once a fortnight. So it doesn't matter to us, you know, how often you're providing the care. The main thing is that you're providing on a regular basis. The other thing that's important to note is that Carer Gateway is not just for the main carer or the primary carer. If there are other carers in the family, they're also eligible to register and get support through Carer Gateway. And as the carer can be any age, so it could be children providing support to a brother or sister, or to a parent, for example. And it's important to think about the young carers in the family as well, and what their needs are in terms of getting support too. And I'll talk about the program that we've got specifically for the young carers a little bit later in the presentation. But we understand that the caring journey can, be a roller coaster. It can be, highs, but this can also be lows, particularly as there are changes, happening as the person you're caring for gets older, and, other, things happen to them which may increase their need for support. Whether it be, behavioural changes that might come about, or struggles with transitioning to school or out of school, continence issues, personal care, those sort of things. But you know for us, in terms of the caring role, it's not just about the physical support that somebody provides. It's also about that emotional support, that social support, psychological support, and also the administrative support. So, organising services or organising appointments, that's all part of the caring role as well. So, yeah, it's important to see the broad range of support that caring for somebody actually encompasses. We're going to talk about today the types of supports that can be provided through Carer Gateway. First, we're going to look quickly at some of the supports through the website, the National Carer Gateway website, and then we're going to move on to what local service providers are expected to provide. So with the Carer Gateway website, you can access a phone counselling service. The phone counselling service can also be accessed through ringing the national 1800 422 737 number. When you ring that number, it'll have the option of 1 or 2. 1 will go to the service provider and 2 will go to the phone counselling service. Through the website, you can also access an online peer support community forum. So it's a platform where you can connect with other carers who are providing care for somebody with cerebral palsy, to get support from them, to ask questions of them, or to be able to support others who are new to that journey of caring for somebody with CP. They have different sections within the portal according to the person that you're looking after and what their disability may be. So it would be a matter of just linking in with the part of the portal that relates to disability for those people who are caring for somebody with CP. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for carers to support each other and ask questions of each other. And particularly helpful to support people who are new to that caring journey. There's also online self-guided coaching and carer skill courses that carers can access. Each of those courses have a number of different modules in them, and the skills and knowledge that are available through those modules will provide you with those foundation skills and knowledge that carers need to know about when they take on the caring role. So it'll include modules like the importance of self-care, legal matters, time management and organisational skills, stress management, and things like that. Each of the modules are set up that you can go into them. If you can't finish a module at that particular time, you can come back and pick up where you left off, which is a nice benefit for that program. What I want to concentrate on a little bit more is about what we can provide at the local service provider level. So we're going to go through each of these services on the right in a little bit more detail. So the first support that we can offer is emergency respite in the home. Emergency respite is where something unplanned or unexpected and of an urgent nature happens to you, and temporarily means that you can't provide support to the person that you're caring for. It could be that you've broken a bone or become unwell suddenly, or something's happened where you need to go to emergency department of the hospital. Or it could be extreme stress to the point where you're ready to walk out the door. We consider that to be an emergency because it means that the person you're caring for is left vulnerable and can't have that. So as long as that, whatever it is that's happened to you is of an unplanned or urgent, unexpected nature, you would qualify for emergency respite. So what that means is that we can have a care worker come to the home to look after the person that you're caring for, to allow you to go and get that emergency care and treatment for yourself, and knowing that the person that you care for will be taken care of. I've had, a number of carers before they knew about Carer Gateway where, they would delay going to hospital to get emergency care. And it's not great in terms of the outcomes of that when they really, really need it. If you've got family members to help support you, as a backup to your care, that's great. But if you don't, or they're not available for some reason, it's important to know that you've got emergency respite that's available through Carer Gateway. We also offer what's called tailored support packages. So there's two types of packages, and the first package is designed to potentially buy an electronic device or pay for a training course to help you with the caring role or to help you to get employment. So, in terms of training courses, it could be a first aid course or a mental health first aid course, could be training to, help you to learn something that's going to help you to get a job. The electronic device, it could be something like an iPad or a laptop or a mobile phone that's going to help you to maybe connect with other carers, or to help you to administer supports, or to help you to do an online course to help you with your caring role in some way. So it needs to be linked back to how it's going to support you with your caring role. That package can also be used to pay for driving lessons, because we know the importance of carers being able to drive, because it saves a lot of time and a lot of energy in being able to drive rather than using public transport. For young carers under the age of 25, it can also be used to pay for tutoring lessons. Often young carers can fall behind in their studies because of the extent of the caring role that they may have. And that tutoring support is aimed at trying to help them to maintain their educational standards. So it's nice to have that available. So this particular package in itself is a once in a lifetime package. So once it's used once, it can't be used again. So, carers need to be very mindful of how and when they use it to make sure that they get the most support out of it. The other tailored support package is more of a practical support package. So it's designed to put support in the home to look after the person that you're caring for, to allow you to have some time for yourself. So the range of supports that can be offered through that package are things like personal care, respite in the home. It could be that the support worker or care worker takes the person you're caring for out of the home to give you a break. Also, it can be used for housework or meal preparation, and transport for you and the person you care for. So, if you need some additional support in that way to give you a break from the caring role, it might be that you might like to use it on a regular basis throughout the 12-month period that we can put in that practical support. Or other carers prefer to do it more ad hoc when they've got something on that they want to do. Other carers, particularly carers of somebody with physical disability or intellectual disability, and where they've got the child at school, often like to use this package during the school holidays to give them a bit of a break as well. So carers get to decide how and when they use that package within a 12-month period. The aim of what our team are trying to do during that 12 months is not only give you that support to give you a break from the caring role, but also to help you to look at getting long-term supports in place for yourself or for the person that you care for. So, it could be helping to get you to organise NDIS for supports, for example. Because we don't want to get to the end of that 12-month period and not have any support in place. So it's important during that 12-month period of the practical support package that, we look to get those long-term supports in place. Yeah. We also have peer support groups. So peer support's a way of bringing carers together to ensure that their carers don't feel isolated. It's an opportunity, again, for carers to share their experiences, learn from each other, and connect with other carers who understand what they're going through. We do peer support in a number of different ways. Firstly, we do outings and activities, such as what you can see on the screen, the photos that are up there. Here in Sydney, we've done things like high tea at Parliament House, art therapy classes, sailing on the harbour, yoga and meditation, cooking sessions, as a way of bringing carers together, just to name a few. But no matter where you are in Australia, there will be this peer support available through your local carer gateway. They may run different groups to what you see, what we've done here, but they will still be fun and enjoyable activities. Apart from that, we do have peer support groups as well. So they're run once a month. We have some groups online and some groups face-to-face, depending on what the carer prefers. We also try and match carers, like cohorts of carers. So, for example, we have an Aboriginal peer support group, we have a men's peer support group, we have a peer support group for carers of somebody with autism. And if we've got enough people to form a group of carers who are looking after somebody with cerebral palsy, then we can certainly look to do that. But we do have other general groups where there's a mix of carers as well. But yeah, we do like to try and group carers who are looking after somebody with a particular diagnosis, because there's more value in that for the carer. Through peer support, we also do a lot of health and wellbeing and information sessions online. We've had some information sessions about cerebral palsy through the program, and if you feel the need for it, then we can look at running those sessions again. But the main aim is to really allow you to gain extra knowledge and extra support through those information and health and wellbeing sessions. We also run overnight workshops as well. So we take the carers away overnight to provide them with some information sessions, but also some fun sessions as well, like the African drumming that you see here on the screen. So different service providers across Australia will also offer those overnight sessions and run those information sessions and fun sessions as well. But really, peer support is overall about trying to decrease the strain that you may experience as a carer, and to learn from other carers who understand what you're going through overall. Yeah. We also offer counselling services. Although it does say in person, we do also provide it online and via the phone. So we can provide up to 6 sessions of counselling every 12 months. Generally, the need for the counselling does need to be related to the caring role in some way. And generally, it's because a carer might be experiencing stress or depression or low mood, or maybe even a conflict in a relationship as a result of the caring role. With caring for somebody with CP, as I said before, it's a bit of a roller coaster at times, and sometimes things will be going well, and then there might be like a sudden change, and it can be a much more stressful situation. So it's important to know that the counselling service is available. And, it doesn't matter what you come to them with, whatever the situation is, whether it's, the change in behaviour or, maybe the personal care for that person is becoming more intense. Or maybe there's difficulty with the like eating and drinking, and maybe there's been a change in that, or maybe there's been some difficulty with adjusting to a particular situation, and that's affecting you as well. But it can also be, conflict within a relationship. We've had carers come to counselling because they're having to spend so much time looking after that person that they're caring for that it can take away from time from other relationships that the person has in their life, with a partner or, with other children in the family. So it's so important for that counselling service to be utilised if you need it. We also offer facilitated coaching. So coaching is a little bit different from counselling in that, like with counselling, the counsellor will provide you with strategies to help manage a particular situation. With coaching, the need for the coaching doesn't need to be related to the caring role. It can be about anything that you're going through in life where you want to make a positive change to your life. And the coach is there to help guide you, to help you to understand why you do things a certain way or why you don't do other things, and to understand your beliefs and values around a particular situation, to help you to achieve your own personal growth. And we respect that you know your life best, and you know best how to make the change, but sometimes it might not be so obvious. So the coach's role is really there to, probe a little bit deeper as to what's going on or what might be causing something, try and work out, how to break down some of the barriers that have stopped you from achieving what you're wanting to achieve in your life. It's also time out for you to think about what you want as a person, not as a carer, but as a person, to help you refocus on yourself and your own identity and what you want out of life. It's incredible to see the positive transformations that carers make through the coaching service. And it's so wonderful to know that it's part of the Carer Gateway, that it's available for you. So you can access up to 6 sessions every 12 months of the coaching as well. And as it says here, coaching is about unlocking your potential to maximise your own performance. So it's helping you to learn rather than teaching you. We know that you have the answers, but it's about unlocking that. And the coaches are very skilled at doing that. As I said, it can be about the caring role, maybe about like helping you to set up a routine where you can do some regular self-care. It could be about, as it says, setting boundaries. It could be about the journey of returning to work and how to go about that. Or it could be about anything that you want to do. Just to give you some ideas, I had some family, because I have done coaching through Carer Gateway. I had some families who came, and the carer wanted to know how she could get the children more involved in doing the housework. I had another gentleman who wanted to see how he could develop a better morning and night routine for himself so that he was able to sleep better and wake up more refreshed. Had another carer who wanted to learn how to better communicate with the person that she was caring for. It really is, there's no end to the different reasons why you can access the coaching service and make those positive changes in your life. And so with our young carer program, young carers we consider to be under the age of 25, and they're able to access the same sort of support that we've spoken about so far today. We just tailor them more to their age group. Um, so, the peer support activities that they do, the outings and activities, are more age appropriate. Here in Sydney, you can see some of the things that we've done with our young carers, like we've taken them to iFly, go-karting, bushwalking, and we run cooking sessions for them as well. For young carers too who are of age, we run RSA, RCG courses to help them to get employment, or barista courses, just to name a few. The other thing is that the Carers Australia run a young carer bursary program as well, and we educate the young carers about the bursary program and help them to apply. The bursary program gives grants of about $2,000 to young carers to help them with their education. So we try and maximise that for the young carers too. We also have school holiday camps for young carers as well. And it's great to, for the young carers to be able to come together with other young carers who understand what they're going through. We find that a lot of young carers aren't able to open up to their school friends about what's going on with their caring role. So it's nice for them to have this safe space to be able to open up. And that's why we also, have this focus on young carers, because they have such unique needs as young people and in that caring role. So if you've got young people in your families who are providing support, it doesn't have to be the physical support. It could be emotional support. It could be that social support. That's still considered part of the caring role. So think about any young people in your family who might benefit from the Young Carer program within Carer Gateway. Just want to go through a little bit about the caring journey with Carer Gateway once you're registered with Carer Gateway. So there's a number of different ways to register with Carer Gateway. Firstly, you can ring the 1-800 number that's on the screen there. It takes about 10 minutes to register over the phone. Different organisations throughout Australia who operate Carer Gateway may also have a paper referral form or a QR code to take you to an online registration as well. But the 1-800 number is a standard number that no matter where you ring from in Australia, it will connect you with your nearest Carer Gateway service provider. Once your details are put on our computer system, that information goes through to one of our team members who organises a time to have a discussion with you about your caring role and about what your need for support looks like. Because we're wanting to obviously set up supports that are going to match what your needs are. So once the staff member has had that discussion with you, they'll help with you to set up goals and actions that you're going to work towards in terms of getting that support and putting it in place. So it could be actions that our staff member needs to do, like referring you internally to counselling or coaching or peer support, or for one of the packages, for example, or it could be things that you need to do as well. And generally it is a combination of the two. But once that coordination of supports is done, every 3 to 4 months, the team member will get in contact with you to do a review to see how you're going with your caring role, to see whether anything's changed along the way, maybe your goals and actions need to change. So it's a chance to sort of check in, see how you're going, and see if things need to change, or whether, the supports you've got in place are doing what you're wanting them to do. During that initial discussion and each of the reviews that happens every 3 to 4 months, we use what's called the Carer Star tool, and it's just a way of guiding the discussion with carers. So this is what the tool looks like, and it's got 7 different points on it. So these areas that are on your screen highlighted, they're areas that we've found that are most often impacted by being a carer. So hence the reason why we concentrate on the discussion in those areas. And you get to tell us as much or as little as you want in each of those areas. But health, it could be about, are you getting to the doctor when you need to? Are you sleeping okay? Or are you being woken during the night? Are you eating well? Are you getting an opportunity to do exercise if that's what you choose to do? Yeah, so and just checking in about your health conditions and whether you're able to get the treatment you need for the health conditions you may have as well. Um, the caring role is about, what sort of informal support do you have? Are there other family members who help, or do you have formal supports in place? Um, we also concentrate on managing at home. Like, are you getting the housework done? Are you finding time to go shopping? Is the house set up appropriately, caring for the person that you're caring for? You may need home modifications, for example. And our staff can make recommendations as to where to get them, and where to connect with an occupational therapist if you need that. Also concentrating on looking at time for yourself. Like, are you getting time for yourself, or is that an area that you need to work on? What sort of things do you like doing if you do get some time for yourself? Or what would you like to do if you had some more time for yourself? How you're feeling, so, how you're coping emotionally with the journey of being a carer, and, the experiences that you go through. And is there that need to connect with the counselling and coaching service? Finances, mostly around making sure that you've got enough to pay rent or your mortgage, or pay for food, or pay your bills, because we know that, caring for a person with a disability, or being a carer in general, it can impact the finances because of, other costs that come into it. And also work. Are you working? Are you not working? Have you had to give up work? Have you had to reduce hours of work because of the demands of the caring role? And those last two tend to go hand in hand anyway. Excuse me. So once we've had that discussion with the carer about their caring role and their care needs, we ask them to rate on a scale of 1 to 5 each of those areas in terms of where they are in that journey of getting support in each of those areas. We're trying to get people up to be a 5, which is, as good as it can be. But if carers are scoring lower, like in the 1 or the 2, then that's, it helps us to identify that that's an area of concern, and maybe the place where you need to get support first. So it's not about how you're going as a carer, because there's certainly no judgment involved in you and what you're doing. It's more about you and getting support and feeling supported, and that's what we want. So it's important for us to know where you are in that journey, so that we can try and get you up to a 5, whereas it's as good as can be. I just want to also look at an emergency care plan. So through the National Care Gateway website, there is emergency care plans that you can download. And we really encourage carers to fill out this emergency care plan about the person that they're caring for. It's a place where you can put all the information about them, so their medications, their medical conditions, who the local doctor is, who the local chemist is, information about the daily routine. information about, any challenging behaviours, or, any sort of continence issues, any sort of speech or language, or cognitive issues that they may experience. Because it's important that, to have all the information as much as possible in this document, so that in case something happens to you, whoever's providing that backup support knows what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Um, and any mobility issues, they're really important as well. How does the person that you're caring for transfer, for example? Are there any swallowing issues? Those key things are so important for anybody who's providing those backup supports to know what to do and how to do it. It's a great opportunity as well when you're filling out this form to think about, if something did happen to you, who would be your backup person? Is there somebody else in the family, or is there a friend who might be willing to be that backup person if something happens to you? So it's a great opportunity to start that conversation with people in the family or friend, to see if they could be that backup person. Obviously, if there is no backup person, you know that you've got emergency respite available through Carer Gateway. The important thing with the emergency care plan is to keep it up to date as well, because we know that things change over time, with the person that you're caring for. So that's firstly. But also the emergency care plan comes with a card to go in your wallet and the person that you're caring for's wallet. It means that if something does unexpectedly happen to you or to them out in the community, that emergency personnel can see, firstly, that you're a carer for somebody, and who you care for, and the name and contact number of the backup person. If there is no backup person, you can put Carer Gateway's number on there. The other card for the person that you're caring for, that goes in their wallet, and it identifies who they are, what medical condition, what health conditions they have or disabilities they have, and who the emergency backup contact person is. So generally it would be the primary carer or the main carer in the family. But a really great document to put that comprehensive information together. It's also a really good document to, if you've got to take the person that you're caring for to an emergency department or a new doctor or a new specialist, it's a great document to take with you as well, because all the information about that person is there in one place, and it helps with that communication with the doctors, the nurses, and the allied health staff. So think about that as well. The other thing that I want to bring your attention to here is the podcast. So here at Benevolent Society Carer Gateway, we also have a podcast that's available for anybody in Australia or even internationally. So the podcast is something special to our Carer Gateway. I don't think any other Carer Gateway in Australia does it. But one of our staff has done interviews with carers to learn about their caring journey and what's helped them along the way, in the hope that it can help other carers. She's also done interviews with various service providers to understand what they can offer to help support not only carers but the person that they're caring for as well. Excuse me. So I'd really encourage you to have a look at the podcast. You've got the QR code there if you'd like to use it, but it's also available on the major platforms like Spotify, Listener, Apple as well. It's called Carer Conversations. I've actually been interviewed for Carer Gateway for the podcast as well. A lot of the staff who work for Carer Gateway are carers themselves and really understand what it means to be a carer. If you're interested in listening to my episode, you can look out for it as well. I'm a carer for my daughter and for my parents. If you're interested, you can have a listen to that. There's a lot of great services and supports that Carer Gateway offer. you can access more than one of those supports at any one point in time. For example, if you find that you've got a need for that practical support, but also want some counselling or coaching or want to join in the peer support, you can access all aspects at once if need be. So yeah, I really encourage you to, if you feel that you've got that need for support through Carer Gateway, to please access it and understand that we do understand what you're going through. The staff are very experienced at what they do, and can really appreciate how difficult it can be. We know that the caring role can be very rewarding as well, and we acknowledge that. But we understand that it can be quite overwhelming and stressful at times as well. So we're there to help support you. So yeah, please keep that in mind, and access our support if you feel that you need it. Yeah. That's actually the end of the presentation itself. If Oliver, if you're there, if you've got an opportunity for any questions, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks very much, Debbie. That was a really good presentation, and we know that so many people with cerebral palsy, carers are really vital to them all around Australia.
Absolutely.
And the resources and support that's available to carers is very important as well, of course. Before we get into the Q&A segment, I'll just give attendees another quick moment to submit any questions they may have thought of in this latter part of Debbie's presentation. And I'll just make a quick word about My CP Guide to say that this is one in a series of webinars that's being facilitated by My CP Guide. If you're not previously familiar with the site, it is basically a free-to-use information hub that is all about cerebral palsy. It has many numerous resources that are relevant for parents and carers and guardians of people with cerebral palsy. We also have, for example, an original resource that was developed in co-design with people with cerebral palsy and their families that's about parent and carer well-being. So I really encourage you to check out My CP Guide if you're not previously familiar with it at mycpguide.org.au and browse the resources that are available there. So I'll just go to our Q&A.
I just want to make
a
comment. Yeah. If I can make a comment about My CP Guide. Yeah, I love the way that it's set out with the different, time frames, the different sort of life cycle of the person with CP, because it makes it easy to go to the section that you want to go to for the age group of the person that you're caring for. And yes, such comprehensive information. It's really, really great.
Absolutely. I think that's actually an excellent point that's relevant to carers, because My CP Guide isn't just for infancy and younger ages. It's something that can actually be used throughout the entire life course of someone with cerebral palsy. And you can filter the resources you're looking for by, as Debbie was saying, the person's age group, other factors like the GMFCS level of the cerebral palsy that they have, and the particular topics that you're looking for. So you can really hone in on the type of resources and information that you want to learn more about. So here in our Q&A section, we just had a question that came in earlier in the presentation, Debbie, saying, thanks very much. What starting point do you recommend for a totally new carer who has no formal experience with supporting someone? So I think that you did get into this a little bit when you were looking at the carer's journey. But perhaps you could elaborate a little on what does it typically look like when someone's right at the beginning, they've just entering this new experience of becoming a carer. Where do they typically start?
Yeah, certainly in terms of getting support through Carer Gateway, it very much hinges on that initial discussion, and using that carer star. Might just go back to that if that's okay. Because I guess with Carer Gateway, we look at you as an individual, because what your needs as a carer are can be different to other carers, and it's very much individualized in terms of what your need for support looks like at the time. We obviously go through each of those areas that are on the screen for the carer star, and that does help to guide us with where your need for support is at that point in time. I think if you're starting out that journey with caring for somebody with CP, I think trying to get as much information about CP is a starting point, and we can refer people to, like, if what you're needing isn't what we provide, we can refer you or give you guidance as to where to go and get that support that you need. And obviously we would refer you definitely to my CP guide, because it is so comprehensive in terms of getting that information about CP and what it looks like for the person that you're caring for at the life stage that they're at. And I guess therapy is a really important thing as well. We don't provide the therapy, but we can certainly guide you as to where to go to get information about, how to start that journey of getting that support, and getting that therapy. Because, the sooner you can get those therapies, the better the outcome is. Further down the life stage. But I think also, when you're first hearing that the person that you're caring for, has got a particular diagnosis, it can be quite overwhelming, as well. And that's where perhaps maybe counselling might come into it, to help you to manage those emotions that you're experiencing at that point. And help you to find, a or set up a pathway to getting the information or getting the support that you need. It helps you to focus, on what you're needing at that point in time.
Thanks, Debbie. We have another question here that just says, thank you for all of this and the information and the work you do. I was wondering if it is available for carers of people with conditions other than cerebral palsy.
Absolutely, it is. For us, you can be caring for anybody who's got any sort of disability, or they could have a mental health illness. They could be an older person. They could be somebody with a drug or alcohol related condition that you're caring for, or somebody with a chronic condition or life limiting condition. As long as you're caring for somebody that fits into those categories, and they're quite broad categories, then you can register and get support through Carer Gateway. Yeah, because I said that the only eligibility really is that you're providing care and support on a regular basis to somebody with one of those health conditions. So it doesn't have to be CP. It can be any other disability, or aged care need, or drug or alcohol or mental health need as well.
Debbie, I'll just read a question that we had earlier in the session saying, hi, Debbie, is the carer support package available to someone who has already been a long-term carer? So that's specifically regarding the carer support package.
Yes, absolutely, it is. We have carers registering at various stages in their caring journey. And yes, the package is available whether you're a new carer or a long-standing carer.
Thanks very much, Debbie. I think we'll conclude there. So I just wanted to say thank you again very much to Debbie for your presentation. I think that the people attending found it really informative, and it was very comprehensive about what's on offer with Carer Gateway. Thank you to everyone who attended today. Just a reminder that a recording of this session will be made available later on My CP Guide. So if you were only able to catch part of it, or if you wanted to share it on to someone who might find this useful, for example, somebody who is a new carer of someone with cerebral palsy, especially, you'll be able to do that. We will send you an email with those details of how to access the recording from this session. As I mentioned, this is just one in a series of webinars that's being facilitated by My CP Guide. If you're not already subscribed to the My CP Guide newsletter, I encourage you to do that as well. You can do that at the mycpguide.org.au homepage, scroll to the bottom of the page and input your email address there to sign up. So thank you again very much to everybody, and especially to you, Debbie, for your presentation. And I'll conclude our webinar there.
Lovely. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ola, for having me. And I hope you all did get something out of the presentation today. So thank you
Very much.